1007.
35192. You want to send a text? AlanCoxShow.com. You want to watch? Gab Cruz is in today. Mary's out. The Sports Gab is where you'll find her on Twitter. You see her at Guardians games. Well, you saw her at Indians games. You will see her at Guardians games. You see her on 19. She has been one of Cleveland's most interesting people, right?
That is true. He did his homework.
Well, no, I mean, it's we've
not just one of the most interesting. She was the cover for hers.
Oh, were you really? You were on the cover.
Yeah.
Just you? They do like a group of people usually. Did they give you the whole cover?
I don't know how. Whose
wow,
decision
solo
it was.
cover.
You got the solo cover.
Well done.
I did it. I was at like 2012, and it was like Russ Mitchell was the cover, and like my blurb is like the size of a quarter.
I was never I was
Like
never
the
a
Mike
most
Wazowski?
interesting person in Cleveland.
That's because
Really? Well, I can put a word in.
she's a cover model.
They gave me my own whole piece in there. Jim Vickers wrote a whole piece on it. And I assume you either got one or the other, which was fine. I'm not all that interesting, really. And so might as well save that space for people who really fit that description. Cavaliers play tonight in Indiana. They'll play the Pacers at 7 o'clock here on MMS and on the iHeartRadio app if you want to listen there. So 6:30 after we roll out is when the pregame will begin. You do anything with the Cavs? You don't do anything with the Cavs, do you?
Not really. Just coverage with Channel 19 when I get
Talk
to
about them from time to time?
Yeah.
And how does the anchor thing go? How do you like doing that stuff?
So far, I haven't gotten enough cracks at it to feel like I don't have a huge adrenaline rush, but it's the good kind. I enjoy it because it's a good challenge, and I'm
You have
learning.
to slow yourself down?
Well, it's just a lot. You got to learn the system. You got to learn the editing. The editing is fine. It's more about, all right, if I peel a clip of video from a post-game press conference, where do I send that, and then where do I retrieve it to be able to edit it? It's more the like leading up to the stories.
Well, you're making your own packages.
Yeah, you got to build your own stuff.
You're
and
doing the
write your own
MMJ
stuff.
thing and all that. Okay,
So the on-camera part is okay. Actually, I've had trouble reading off a teleprompter. I started to realize I think I am dyslexic.
Really?
I'm so used to going more off the cuff, and the teleprompter is actually a bit harder, especially because you have to do it yourself.
But have you ever had trouble reading?
Not that I remember, but now I feel that I do.
Huh.
And I literally went to the post office yesterday, and I was reading the address that I needed to write on the package, and the guy that I gave it to was like, "This is incorrect," and sure enough, I had a wrong number. I have blips every so often, and I'm like, it's crazy. I thought the 7 was a 2.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I think that there is a slight thing to be
Well,
honest.
reading a prompter is slightly different in that when you're reading a book, your eyes are moving. When you're reading a prompter, the words are moving. And so there is a slight thing there where you kind of have to readjust, and that's easier for some people than others.
Yeah, because I always thought back in grade school I wasn't that bad at, when they'd call you and you'd have to read.
Read out loud, yeah.
Yeah, I never got that anxious for it. Also, I would skip ahead, though, as we do, to make sure you're prepared
you can
for your section.
cheat a little bit.
But I loved when I got called on to read out
As
loud.
a fellow dyslexic, let me just say, club to the welcome.
Thank you. I know there's a little something
Son of a
there.
bitch.
I know there's a little something there. Yeah.
Well, listen, I mean, there's are you dyslexic?
Oh, yeah.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you just didn't like paperwork.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
Because it's all on paper. Because the printed word's
Dyslexia
all on
and
paper.
ADHD,
Wow. Yeah, but those are two different things, though, aren't they?
Yeah, but when
As I
you mix them
understand
together, it's a nightmare.
Oh, I see. I've got DDHA. I don't know what the hell's going on over here. This is a really bad situation.
Isn't that dance game?
Yeah, Dance Revolution. How about Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers is now the highest paid NFL player of all time.
I didn't even know he was still playing.
Well, he wasn't sure he was going to be still playing either. He was talking about retirement. He was talking about going to the Denver Broncos. More on that in a second. But he is getting paid $200 million for 4 years, and $153 million of it's guaranteed.
Ooh, good for him.
You think they cut him a check up front for $153 million?
I don't think they can.
They can't do that.
Because I think there's limits on how they can pay out the guaranteed money, and like there's signing bonuses and things like that. So a lot of times, to help with the cap hit, they'll max that out. They'll do as big of a, but it also depends on what the payroll situation for the Packers. So they have a lot of different ways that they have to pay out this money. so that it doesn't completely keep the team from being able to sign any other players.
Sure.
Because that cap hit is a lot.
Well, listen, for a while, for all the hits that he was taking over the whole COVID thing and he was immunized and blah, 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 everything is coming up Aaron Rodgers now because it seems like I don't think he and Shailene Woodley split up. For reals. I think they're still together. That's what people are saying.
Yeah, they got back together.
That they're still together.
Yeah.
And now he is going to be the highest paid player in the history of the National Football League. That's a lot of money. But they said he had considered retirement. They said that he had considered the Broncos.
I hope he doesn't have playoff incentives.
Why is that?
Because he doesn't make it that far in the playoffs.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
well, maybe now he will. Maybe there are incentives that will incentivize him to get that far.
They got knocked out by the 49ers this year. They only scored 14 points.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well.
Gab, what do you think about Aaron Hernandez?
He's dead.
Well,
will you get off Aaron Hernandez?
Well,
He's so horny for this dead guy.
I'm ready to talk about Aaron Hernandez.
Go ahead.
Do you think that he was gay?
I know a lot of guys like him that were gay, so if what they're saying is true,
Because
I can believe that.
I was moved by his documentary. Like, I was really interested by it. And then the end was kind of a curveball for me with, like, learning that was on the table for it. I mean,
my
we had to
God, what
piece
a
it
waste.
together.
What
But
a waste. I mean, to
I
think
thought he copped to it before everything.
Well, there was supposedly like a love letter to
Jeffrey Epstein?
His dude in there or something, but
no, he had a dude on the outside and a dude on the inside.
okay.
yeah, but it
Ew, he was a cheater too, a murderer and a cheater.
no.
One was in prison, the other one was
Which is worse?
no, but the interesting part about it is you wonder if he was covering up that part of him to be extra masculine and be part of these things.
And I can
you know?
believe that because
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't murder anybody, nor did I murdered 2 people allegedly, but I did get like tattoos.
You murdered some jokes.
I did get tattoos because I thought it would make me more macho. I did take
Okay.
a carpentry class because I thought it would make me more macho.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
doing all these things to distract, but none of
did-
those things distracted from my voice.
you did
So being
everything
in
but join a gang.
being in professional football wouldn't have been enough.
Michael Sam was in professional
But he was
football.
openly gay.
He came out and then he lost everything.
True.
Well, but he wasn't an amazing player either. So
But is the one that just came out, the one that used to play for the Browns, what's his name?
Carl Nassib.
Yeah, is he great?
He's okay. He's better than Michael Sam was.
Here's
Like
a-
he's on
Okay.
it.
I think there's a race issue on that. But
all I'm saying is that
maybe.
I would think, obviously, you can't get anybody's head other than your own. But all I'm saying is, if you were trying to distract and project your masculinity, I would think that being a good player in the NFL would do that without like getting to the point where he was murdering people.
Yeah, but when
I'm
you're-
real spotty on the Aaron Hernandez thing. The most I know about it, according to Poundcake, is that he was super hot.
But when you're raised in that way where it's not just about being masculine, but any sign of weakness is looked at, you go, oh, that's gay. Any sensitivity, that's gay. And then there's such a negative connotation that goes along with that you are so destroyed by the fact that you are having these thoughts and you're having these desires, and that it will make the people around you that you've been around the most in your life, and your dad is this macho guy, and they're going to you feel like you're going to get disowned if you have any of those thoughts.
And he wasn't
or
just
actions.
He wasn't just some football player. He was like the guy on the team. He was playing with some of the greats, like the greatest of all time. And for someone of his caliber to come out, that would change some things, a lot of things in the league, because they can't just throw him away because it would look like
We've never had like a star player come out as
That's
gay.
what I'm saying.
True.
They can't just cut him from his contract or cut him from the league because that would look openly homophobic, and they don't want to do that. But any discrimination he would face, people would take notice, and then they would have to change things because of that. So there were probably people that knew, his teammates probably knew, but they covered up for him because they liked the status quo. But
I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready.
Alex
I will-
Jones
I will eat your
ode
ass.
to Aaron Hernandez.
Your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up? I'm gonna haul him up by chain, chop his ass up, size it up.
Chop his ass up. Oh, Alex Jones, you magnificent bastard. Speaking of the Denver Broncos, they've grabbed Russell Wilson, who is leaving the Seattle Seahawks, and going to the Broncos, one of the biggest trades in NFL history, they're saying. So he's going to make a lot of money there, too. The Washington team apparently was really driving hard. Who were they now? The Generals, the Commanders? The what?
Remember.
The Commanders, I think.
Commanders,
The former Redskins.
Not the Deviators?
No. The Washington Deviators are... no, I guess they were really driving hard to get Russell Wilson, but the Broncos made a better deal. So now the thought is, if Washington has played their hand in saying we're looking for somebody, that Janine Garofalo might go to Washington because she's been great for the 49ers.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'm sorry?
That's
Janine Garofalo, who for many, many years was a comedian and an actress of some renown, and then just midlife, I mean, she's a little bit older than me, midlife decides, not only am I going to break the gender barrier in the National Football League, I'm going to break the height barrier. She's very, very short in the opposite direction, and she's really performed. She's produced for the 49ers, but maybe going to the Washington Deviators from here on out.
Jimmy Garoppolo. But
Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yes.
Write this down. How many L's and P's and O's are in that name? Does anybody know?
I think it's 2 P's.
It sounds like a lot. I've got some kids' corner.
It ain't easy being a kid.
Talking to Gab about
now
kids.
Look at what you gone done did. Whoa, it's time for Kids Corner. Kids Corner.
Listen, it's not easy being a kid of any age. Not everybody has the good fortune to avail themselves of a Gab Cruz coming in and kind of telling you how to navigate your interpersonal relationships. There's a 5-year-old who they say they're not going to press charges against. A 5-year-old in Florida who was attacked the teacher for the third time. Leaving the teacher hospitalized. A 5-year-old student who is...
Gab, we need you to get to the school right now.
He's malleable.
Give me the school.
Get to Pines Lake Elementary School in Pembroke Pines, stat. The police have confirmed that the student will not be charged, even though it's the third time.
What kind of injury was this?
Well, they're going to tell you here at the local affiliate down there.
The teacher was so severely injured, she was intubated at the hospital, according to the president of the teachers union. The president of the union also telling us this is not the first time the 5-year-old student has attacked the teacher and sent her to the hospital in an ambulance.
This has to be an old teacher, right? Wouldn't you be able to fight off a 5-year-old kid?
I can fight off a lot of 5-year-old
Listen,
kids.
I was thinking so. And then I thought about, I was like, well, what about, you know how these kids, they're so much bigger than you. I was like, what if it's a unique 5-year-old who looks like he's...
Andre the Giant?
No. What I think it is, I think teachers are so afraid of being sued.
That's what I think. I think you're right.
She didn't touch him because if she knocks him down,
she
he might
feedled up.
Right,
but this is the third time. At one point... I'm going to turn into Tucker Carlson here. At what point do you go, I'm going to knock a kid out because I'm curled up in the corner again?
You little bastard.
A 4 and a 5-year-old student. 2 students.
Wait, so she got to be beat up by 2 students or 1?
How do you go home and live with that?
2 students started throwing things around the pre-K classroom and at the teachers and then started flipping over chairs, and the 5-year-old attacked the teacher who he has attacked before and hurt her.
Yeah, there's some issues. Also, why has this happened number of times? We gotta...
That's what I'm saying. How many times does the teacher have to go to the hospital before they go, all right, you get one shot at the kid. Or pin him down or something.
I will say when I was in primary school, one of our students was bipolar. I think he had to be diagnosed as bipolar. And we were at recess, and he did beat up our principal. I remember that. He was throwing snowballs at her. He was hiding on the jungle gym, and she would go up and try and get him, and he would kick her.
How old is this?
Primary school. I don't know what age.
5, 6, 7, around there.
Maybe a little older. Maybe 7, 8.
They'll donate. They will diagnose a kid that young as bipolar.
He had to have been because it was known.
He had some sort of behavioral.
Do not piss off this kid because he's the type that. He won't mean to shoot up the school. He'll shoot up the school and then cry that he killed everybody.
Well, no, but the trouble with
that kid,
right? But what I'm saying is the trouble, and everybody's known those kids. The trouble with those kids, though, is you don't know what's going to set them off. Well, so it's not sufficient to go, don't piss them off, Because what you would think would make somebody upset, anything could set this kid off.
I don't know how he was in like regular class because he had like an aide with him. Like he had an aide that would like sit in the class with him, and then his parent
Make sure nothing popped off.
His parent also lived across the street from the school. So as he's like throwing hands on the jungle gym with our principal, his mom comes running over like flailing, and I'm like, this is one bomb ass recess. I'm like, oh my god! And all the kids, the do-gooder kids, were like, don't look!
Don't you wish?
Look. I'm like, I'm looking.
Bomb ass recess. Were you like hiding behind the jungle gym?
No, I was at Foursquare, and I'm like, forget the Foursquare, bounce the ball, I'm out. Like, I want to see this.
I want to see Mr.
Don't you
Jenkins.
wish you had a cell phone back then? Like I was thinking of all like the crazy stuff that happened when I was a kid in school, and man, just having a cell phone back then to video all this stuff,
Oh my gosh.
it'd be just fantastic.
But the level of anger and violence and rage and intensity that has happened to this teacher is not the norm.
Police say a 5-year-old in a pre-K class at Pines Lakes Elementary School in Pembroke Pines allegedly attacked a teacher at the school Wednesday morning. According to the police report, the student continuously hit the teacher after he and a 4-year-old started to throw things and flip chairs. Police say they found the teacher sitting on the ground against the wall. She was, quote, feeling faint, weak, and dazed before she started coughing and dry heaving. She was then taken by...
Once you get to coughing and dry heaving, that's no good.
Yeah.
Of course, you also got to wonder what, like, the last couple of years have done to some of these small kids, too. Mm-hmm. You can't completely discount that, you know.
Yeah, and what their home life is like. I'm not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different factors that go into kids behaving this way, but a teacher should be able to restrain the child.
Restrain a kid or something.
Yeah. I mean,
ambulance to the hospital. Anna Fusco, Broward Teachers Union president, represents the teacher she describes as wonderful with 13 years of teaching experience. Fusco says
So
the
she's not
5-year-old
elderly.
I was going to say, that's not that long to be a teacher.
with special needs continuously attacked the teacher after she was on the floor and unresponsive. She says the
This is they say special needs class?
Yeah.
So that's why you don't charge the kid.
Okay.
teacher was
yeah, but
put
you
on a
should still
ventilator.
have
You should be able to restrain
them,
a
and
kid,
I feel like you should have the resources to do so.
Usually you're allowed to.
Yeah.
Well, at least my friend who works with specifically.
Well, I was going to say, I thought you were deriving from your own personal experience. I was going to say, you and I went to Catholic school. They could do whatever they wanted
yeah.
to us in Catholic school.
True that.
There were no rules.
But no, she works with kids with a lot of these behavioral issues and special needs. And there's different, like, I don't know the exact restraining measures, but
Yeah.
you have to learn how to do that. And it's for the safety of the people working.
Yeah,
right,
right.
and
And
they
the
teach
kid.
you
They teach
ways to
you
do
ways-
it, like without hurting them,
Right.
and to keep everybody safe. like
Yeah.
you said.
Oh, she has crazy stories. She gets assaulted at work.
I bet.
Dude.
Yeah,
man,
it's
no.
wild.
Yeah.
Now, listen, maybe you want to feel a little bit better about your life. There is another school that has started a program called Pep Talk, PEPTOC. And it's a hotline from some kids. This is part of some social experiments that some kids are doing at a school in Healdsburg, California. These are students at Westside Elementary, and they've started a hotline called Pep Talk. If you need a pep talk from a kid, you dial this number. I'm going to try this.
Oh, we're doing this live on the air.
Yeah.
I love this.
Oh, this is going to be, I hope it's great.
I remember how to dial out properly.
Hi, welcome to Pep Talk, a public art project by Westside School. Bienvenidos a Pep Talk, un proyecto creado por los estudiantes de Westside School.
Para un mensaje feliz, presiona 5.
Please listen to the following options for encouraging messages. If you're feeling mad, frustrated, or nervous, press 1. If you need words of encouragement and life advice, press 2.
Life
If you need pep
advice
talk
from a kindergartner?
press 3. If you need to hear kids laughing with delight, press 4.
Not that
If you
one.
would like
No.
to make a donation to support this project,
Well,
please
are we
press
mad, frustrated, or nervous? Do we want words of encouragement and life advice, or do we need a pep talk from kindergartners?
I need to know what their life advice is.
Life
Yeah, I need
advice.
their life advice. Yeah, number 2.
Be grateful for yourself. Dude, live it up. Be you. I trust that you can make things right. Be happy. Try it again. Believe in yourself. If you're feeling up high and unbalanced, think of groundhogs. It's okay to be different. Always stay together.
Oh my God, I'm
Don't give up. Power through. We all really like you.
You don't even know
Never give
me.
up.
Oh, these kids. They're just adorable. So there you go. A little program
That's
called
cute.
Pep Talk that
All
some
right,
kids
wait.
out there in California are doing.
Can we do the frustrated one?
No, I'm not going through all that again. I just wanted I wanted to hear what these kids had for life advice. And of course, you know.
Nothing. Not a thing.
I like Dude Live It Up. Dude
Live
Live It
was
Up.
pretty good.
I like that guy.
I feel more mad and frustrated than when we originally called.
Well, I'll call back and I'll hit number 1.
Yeah.
All right, I've got to take a break. Gab Cruz is here, the Sports Gab on Twitter. Who are you on Instagram? Is it the same thing or is it?
Gabriella Cruz.
Oops, sorry. You're what? Gabriella Cruz on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the gram.
We'll take a break and return. If you want to text for something,